What's up, y'all? Hope everyone's doing all right. Okay, so gonna get into this story revolving around Lola Jones. Okay. Oh, and today is her birthday, so she's 40 now. So, mind you, she's still waiting to have sex until marriage. She hasn't found a partner as of yet, so she's freaking out about her fertility. So she now wants to get IVF. And so she said initially she wanted to freeze her eggs. She said, I quote, I just kept thinking I will meet my husband and things will all work out. Well, here I am almost 10 years later and it hasn't. Then she also, not too long ago, she cut ties with a man she'd been corresponding with for 8 months. He was basically giving her mixed signals. And she talked about this on her Instagram from a post. So I'll read that to y'all. Okay, she says, tonight I blocked the guy I was talking to for 8 months. My heart just couldn't take it anymore. He gave me so many mixed signals. He would talk about marriage and kids, but then keep me in the friend zone. He would never make time to see me. My heart is so heavy. I'm so exhausted dating life. I have continually asked God to honor me with a godly man. I prayed for years and with many tears for God, please, to allow me to find my husband. I even prayed if God didn't want me to be married to remove the desire from my heart. But as the years grow, I want to be married more and desire badly to have a family of my own. And I just keep getting my heart broke. I get teased all the time because I won't have premarital sex. Hey, Jackie, how are you? Guys will DM me that I'm old, I'm washed up, I should just put out already. So I'm just crying out, where are you, God? Your word says, John 14:14. If you ask me anything in my name, I will do it. I'm asking God to please honor the desire of my heart. Your word says two are better than one. Ecclesiastic 4:9-12. I'm just asking God to honor my heart because faith is hurting right now. I'm tired of getting teased. I'm asking God, my Father, my protector, my provider, please show up. Please honor me. Okay, so as of now, she is getting the IVF so she can have a child. And I'll say this, it's very unfortunate like she hasn't found a guy that at least have the same values as her. It's like the only way she would be able to get married, which is not a guarantee, everyone's not going to get married, unfortunately. It's just, I find it mind-boggling, like she hasn't found a guy that she knows in church or who has the same values as her. Like, I don't get it. I mean, because the thing is, someone like her, if you're determined to not have sex until marriage, you have to not, you can't engage with men that don't have the same thought process as you. That it's not going to work. And yeah, them men, they will deal with you for a while, but they're still going to be getting laid elsewhere. So it's like, Jackie says she's a lesbian. You know what? I heard a rumor that she could be. I don't know. And it's like, yeah, she needs to just get I don't understand why she's having trouble finding a guy with same values as her. Like, come on. It could be her personality, honestly. Cuz the thing is, there's I'll say this. Okay, Jackie says most people like her with deep religion are afraid to come out, so they torture themselves with Christianity. And that's unfortunate. And see, someone like her, I don't know, like she needs to just find a man with the same values as her. That's the best advice that I can give her, honestly. Because the men that you're talking to, they want to have sex. So it's like, it's not going to go anywhere. And I just think it's her personality. And I mean, I have my opinion about the whole wait until marriage. I mean, I don't think it's anything wrong with that in itself, because it takes a lot of discipline to wait until marriage to have sex. It takes a lot of discipline. And we all have urges. So, yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. This is what I feel about people like that, right? You have to at least like get to know your body, because those type of people who are deeply religious, some of them people think masturbation is a sin. And that's sad way of looking at things. Is like, are you going to know what pleases you if you never discover your body? Because there are like deeply religious people who just don't believe in masturbation. And not only that, like, I'm surprised like she didn't find a guy in her 20s, because most people who are like religious, they get married at a very young age. So it's like, why she didn't have anyone helping her out in that department? Because most people who are religious like that, they get married very young. And it's just, mm. See, I have my opinion about the whole virginity thing in itself. Like, I think the whole concept is flawed. And what I mean by that is, what is it based off of? Is there is it only if you were penetrated? So I guess what I'm saying, like, so if you had oral sex, are you still a virgin? I'm just saying, like, some of these people, they refer to themselves as technically virgins, right? But they did everything else but penetration vaginally. Like, some of these people, they'll have anal sex, they'll have oral sex, but yet still claim they're virgins. And then not only that, I mean, what about gay people? So because you weren't intimate with the opposite sex, that means you're still a virgin? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole concept is flawed. And not only that, like, even the whole hymen thing, that shit doesn't hold weight. Like, you can break your hymen from doing other activities. And in other countries, they value virginity to the point, like, if you're not bleeding for your first time of having sex, then it means, oh, you were probably sexually active, when no, not every woman who has sex for the first time is going to bleed. And they get all these unnecessary procedures done to have their hymen bleeding. Getting all these hymen restorations procedures. It's just unnecessary procedure. It's stupid. And some of these women in these, especially in these countries where virginity is very valued, right? They get that procedure, and some of them experience honor killing from their families if they're caught having premarital sex. And the whole concept is archaic in itself because it's obviously a double standard when it comes to virginity. Like, okay, like they use terms like, oh, you're pure, oh, it's a gift, it's this and that. No, when it comes to women, but like a guy, when a guy is a virgin, he gets made fun of, right? Like it seemed abnormal for a guy to not had sex yet. Like it's seen as a laughing matter. And the thing is, you know what? There's nothing wrong with not having sex at a certain age. So, because some people are just late bloomers. Like some people get laid later in life. Like not everybody has sex in the same time frame as the next person. Like some people are just late bloomers. And that's just what it is. Like I know the lady from Friends, right? She didn't have sex until she was 32. One of the actresses from Friends. No bullshit. And again, me personally, I do not subscribe to the whole concept of virginity because it's very flawed and it leaves a lot of people out. It's like, okay. Because personally, I don't think, I'm sorry, like, I'm not one of these people that refer to you as a technical virgin. Anytime you had any type of sexual activity, you're not a virgin to me. Like, I don't give a shit if you had oral sex or whatever. Like, you're not a virgin. And that's just what it is. And this is the thing about it, like if you're like a virgin, but you at least like in tune with your sexuality, like you're like you discover your body, you masturbate. That's fine because some people like that they don't do that, and it's like why? Because how you gonna teach somebody to please you? How you gonna show somebody how you want to be pleased if you never discover your body at all? That's my thing when it comes to that. Like, don't like being naive, like not being at least experienced somewhat when it comes to their body. And personally, like these religious situations, right? I think some of these people are like sexually repressed. And that's just how I feel about it because, again, we all have urges, unless you're asexual or you just have a low sex drive, okay? So it's like if you have urges, it's totally okay to masturbate. Just saying, like it shouldn't be seen as a sin to do that. That's normal. That's like crucifying yourself for being hungry, okay? Your instinct is to eat. And that's the same thing for having sexual urges. Like if there's no partner available, you can totally masturbate. It's totally fine and it should be seen as a sin. Like, I just don't like how some religions can be like being told like everything's a sin, like you have to be ashamed of your sexuality. Like, I just don't like that aspect of religion at all. And I'm getting that feeling like Lola Jones might be that type of person. She might think like masturbation's a sin, which it shouldn't be. And like in a way, okay, Jackie says it's crazy and most of them be secret pervs and pedophiles. That's what I'm saying. Like, let me tell you something. A lot of these religious people, as quiet as it's kept, they still have sex. I don't give a damn what they try to present to the public. Like, these people have a dark side to them. I'm sorry. Like let me tell you something. I know a couple of people that's been in the church who ended up having sex and having outside babies after declaring they're not going to have sex until marriage. Okay, they all ended up breaking that rule. And it's like that's why I'm totally against abstinence only programs, cuz like they only teach you not to have sex. They don't tell you how to protect yourself from pregnancies as well as STIs. They don't teach you that. So it's like when they fall into their urges, they ending up having an unplanned pregnancy and all that shit. Like, it's stupid. Like, it's okay. Yeah, if you don't want to have unplanned pregnancy or have an STI, yeah, just don't have sex. But the thing is, it's unrealistic because, people one day are going to have sex. So they need the tools to figure out what to do. Period. Oh, yes, girl. Don't get me started on Eddie Long. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, these people, that's what I'm saying. Like, I used to be in the church, and it's a whole lot of shit be going on in there. So it's like, as quiet as it's kept, all the motherfuckers are freaky. There's some freaky motherfuckers. Period. Like, they're the most like pervious people. Okay, they just do shit behind closed doors, and a lot of these church folks are the biggest hypocrites. They truly have this do as I say, not as I do mentality. Like, they're just hypocritical people. Okay. And even these preachers, like they end up cheating on their spouses. It's like there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on in church. Real talk. It's like, come on now. And not only that, they have all these outside babies in the church. But they trying to convince you everybody's waiting until marriage to have sex. Get the fuck out of here. Some of them do, and the ones that do, they got married at a young age because they want to have sex, so they're gonna get married at a young age. They don't wait until old age unless you just wasn't lucky in love at all. Hey Celestial, how are you? Hey Big Willie, how are you? Yeah, but I'm not with that whole sexually repressed shit they got going on in religion. Like, fuck that shit. Like, it's natural to have sexual urges. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? It's nothing wrong to masturbate. That used to always piss me off. Like when I used to go to church, they used to tell us it's considered lust to masturbate. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that shit is, it's like, okay. And then they wonder why. Do they understand by telling people not to do that, it's not going to stop the urges? Okay, they're just going to go out here and have sex recklessly. Like, these fucking church people are so fucking stupid. Shaki says, it's always the ones bashing women who be DL men, pedos, and whoremongers. Exactly. And these preachers be into some freaky shit, cheating on their spouses and all that bullshit. Shit is retarded. I don't even go to church anymore. But that shit can be so damaging when they're telling you every single thing is a fucking sin. It's ridiculous. Okay? God God gave us these urges for a reason, okay? Okay? If it wasn't for sex, human beings would cease to exist, okay? Period. I'm so sick of everything being considered a sin. Even when I was in church, I didn't agree with half of the shit I was taught in church. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yep, it sure is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Self pleasure is good for you, okay? It's good for your health. And it's good for people who haven't had a partner. It's like, okay, you don't have a partner right now. What at least you can do is discover your body to see how you like to be touched and all of that. Like, come on, that's just how you teach yourself. That's how you find out what gets you off, by discovering your body. And there's nothing wrong with that. And don't let them church people lie to you telling you masturbation is a fucking sin. Yep, it is, Loyal. And I would never tell anyone not to masturbate. Listen, if you have an urges, it's okay to masturbate. Nothing wrong with that. Let me tell you something. I would tell a fucking teenager, listen, if you're having urges, go in your room in private and take care of that. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's another thing. Like, some parents are really like, they don't like to talk to their kids about sex and none of that stuff. Like, they don't like to have the talk with their kids at all. And see, if I was a parent, I would want my child to come to me about anything, period. I wouldn't want my child to hide shit from me. No. If you have questions, come to me. Because I was young at that point. So why would I judge a child? Like, why? Because I was at their age. I mean, the first time I didn't like being, masturbating, I was a preteen. Even though I was taught in church it's a sin to masturbate. But I'll say this though, by doing that, I wasn't out here being reckless. I wasn't out here having sex. That took care of the urges by masturbating. So I don't understand why they would tell youngins not to do that when they're having urges. It's ridiculous. Hey James, how are you? Jackie says, if a man don't bust, he gonna bust in his sleep eventually. Yeah, like a wet dream. That's what I'm saying. It's natural. It's just as natural as eating when you're hungry. Okay? When you have sexual urges, you want to either have sex or masturbate. That's natural. Okay? We have urges for a reason unless you're asexual, But it's totally normal to have urges. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's our instinct to want to get it in. It's how we keep the human race going. So I hope she just I just don't know. Like, it's like, damn, like, girl, you can't find a guy that has same values as you. Cause the way like some, I'm just being real. Majority of men want to have sex, so it's like, and my thing is, like, does she even like? I guess what I'm saying, like, people who are dead set on waiting till marriage, right? Like, do you actually like? Do you even just kiss someone, right? Do you guys heavy pet? Do you do any of those things? Like, because there's other ways to be intimate with someone. You don't have to have full on penetration. There's other ways to be intimate with people. Where your Libra says Kevin Gates is practicing semen retention. Okay. But yeah, just to be realistic, I know she desires to get married, but but at the same time, you have to accept the fact that you may not get married, and that's a harsh reality you have to accept because I mean, the thing is, it's never too late for anyone to get married as long as they're still breathing. So, yeah, it's never too late. And the thing is, as women, right, when we know we want to have a family and we haven't found that partner yet, and you desire children, yeah, you're going to have to freeze your eggs. You're going to have to do that because one thing about it, we have a time limit on when we can have kids. With men, they can have kids at any age, but with us, you desire to have kids, it's best to just like freeze your eggs. And it's expensive, I know, but that's your best bet. Or go adopt a child, you know, because when you truly want children down the line, yeah, you're going to have to do that. So, yeah, best of luck to her. Now, basketball player Brittany Griner is sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison. Can you imagine being locked up in another country? Now, I heard in order to get her back into this country, we have to trade a Russian prisoner we have here for her. That's another alternative. And see, you got to be careful when you're in another country, especially when it comes to drugs, okay? That's why when you go to these countries, you need to check their laws. Because she had cannabis in her possession, and that was medical for her. But you gotta be careful with that. You gotta be careful when you go in these countries and stuff, because that is against the law in certain countries. And let me tell you something, even in some of them Asian countries, you can get the death penalty for being caught with drugs on you. No lie. So, yeah. So, Doja Cat has recently shaved her hair off. Now, she said the reason she did that was because she doesn't like having hair. She doesn't wear her hair out. And the majority of the time, she was wearing wigs. And some women can pull that look off. That's nothing wrong with going the bald route. I'm gonna play a video of what she said about going bald. Let me share this. Okay, let me see here.
I feel like I was never supposed to have hair anyway. I don't like having hair. I never liked having hair. I cannot tell you one time since the beginning of. I feel like I was never supposed to have hair anyway. I don't like having hair. I never liked having hair. I cannot tell you one time since the beginning of my life that I've ever been like, this is cool. I just do not like to have hair. I remember feeling so fucking just exhausted with like working out. Like whenever I went to go like train, I had like a trainer at one point, and I'd be wearing wigs and they would be like getting like tacky. They'd like re-tack because of the moisture. And then they'd start sliding and peeling off of my head while I'm like in this like doing this incredibly strenuous thing. I'd be working out, but like I couldn't focus because I was more concerned with how I looked and how my hair was doing and like how to keep it adhered to my scalp. And then like it would slide off, and then I'd put on a beanie. There was times where like I put a beanie on top of my wig that's on top of a wig cap that's on top of braids. And I just can't believe that it took me this long to be like, shave your fucking head. Because first of all, I don't wear my hair out. You guys have seen me wear my natural hair out. I had like two eras. Where my hair would be out. I like would straighten it. The only time I mean, there was a moment where it was natural, and then I don't even wear it natural because I don't feel like it, and then it's just a fucking nightmare, dude. I'm over it. I'm really liking this. It's what is the use of having hair if you're not gonna fucking wear it out? I don't even sport it.
Oh my gosh, her bald style is very fitting for her. Like, and some people can pull that look off. Like when I see women shave their hairs, I'm like, you know what? More power to you. Because women in society, we're programmed to have long hair. So when we cut her off, especially bald like that, that's making a huge statement. Lawyer Libra says wigs / weaves is a waste of money and it's too hot. Exactly. Like I had my hair short, it wasn't to that extent. But when you have it short, it's very, you don't have to worry doing much to your hair. You don't. Especially when that's short like that. And oh my gosh, like I can name so many women that just rock that bald look. And they look good. I mean, like Amber Rose, she looked good with that style. Sinead O'Connor, the singer. So yeah, more power to women who are comfortable doing that. And, some women they had no choice. They lost their hair, so they have to go bald. There's nothing wrong with that. you know. Just because you cut, just because you go bald doesn't mean you lost your femininity. Yep, Jada. And she still looked gorgeous. And she had alopecia, so she had no choice but to shave her hair off. But she still looks good. And Jada, she always had her short hairdo. So if you looked at her in the 90s, and she was really rocking that look, and it was fitting to her. Yep, Sanaa Lathan. She did that for a film on Netflix. Yep, Willow. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong shaving your hair off as a woman. Nothing wrong with that. And you're not defined by your hair. You're not. You can do whatever you want with that motherfucker. You can dye it. You can go short. You can go bald. It doesn't matter. Rock that shit. But yeah, so y'all know about Neo's wife filing divorce, right? So she's said in the papers that he has a side baby. So, in addition to him stepping out on her, he had a baby on her. And this is why I always wonder, right? And sometimes it'd be like that. Okay. And it's the same thing happened with Wendy Williams. And I wonder if that's the same case. Okay. Some women, right, they will know their man was stepping out on them for years, right? No problem. They didn't protest or nothing like that, right? But as soon as they get somebody knocked up, that's when it becomes a deal breaker. And that was Wendy Williams' case because listen, Kevin been stepping on Wendy for years, and it took him to have a baby by his side chick for her to throw her hands up. And that's what some women do. Like, they may not like that their man is stepping out on them, but at the same time, they like, you know what, this dude is taking care of me. He's looking out for me. But as soon as you have a baby by somebody, that's it. They throw their hands up. That's a deal breaker for them, getting someone else pregnant. And with Gabrielle Union, in that break baby situation, they say they were broken up during that time. But she took Dwayne Wade back when he had his break baby. So yeah. Okay, so now what I've been hearing is the late Naomi Judd left her two daughters out of the will. So she just left all the money to her husband. And they're not too happy about that. And this is the thing, like, you'll be surprised, like, a lot of these rich people, right? They don't leave shit to their children. You'll be surprised. And you think they would, but sometimes, in some cases, they don't. They don't leave nothing towards their children. Like, I remember this actor by the name of, I think his name, yeah, Phil Seymour Hoffman. He died of an overdose, right? He didn't leave nothing to his kids. He said he didn't want them to be spoiled. and that's his reason why he didn't leave them anything. So yeah, you here in some cases they don't leave nothing to their children, unfortunately. So yeah, let's see. Loyal Libra says the child is a constant reminder, but it also proves that the guy isn't using protection. Obviously, he wasn't using protection. She even said he wasn't using protection. So, when you're not using protection, expect to have an unplanned pregnancy. So that's where Lex says, because they give all their lives if the kids squander it and instead of building on what they receive. Yeah, some people don't want their kids to feel like something's owed to them. They just want them to work for it. For some people, they don't want to be spoiled at all. And see, that's what I respect about Angelina Jolie, right? Because she made sure her kids went to college. She didn't want them getting, just being an influencer or whatever, just trying to be a celebrity. No, like they're going to college. You see Zahara, she's going to Spelman. Her other son, Maddox, is in school in South Korea. So, some parents, they just want their kids to have a, fall back, plan and get an education, which is commendable. So, yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to touch on that. Um, like and share. And till next time, peace.